In the green hills of Nsuka, where hills kissed the skies and the forests whispered secrets to the wind, there lived a man named Nnamdi. His strength, booming voice, and unyielding pride were known far and wide. To the villagers, he was a leader, a symbol of masculinity. But behind the walls of his mud house, his wife, Adaobi, knew a different man, a man whose fists were heavy with anger and whose words cut deeper than any blade. Soft-spoken and graceful, Adaobi embodied patience. Bruises on her body, hidden behind layers of vibrant wrappers, testified to Nnamdi's wrath. Every night, she knelt beside her mat, whispering prayers to the ancestors, imploring a change that was impossible to visualize. One evening, the fire crackled, casting shadows on the walls of their hut. Nnamdi had come home from the fields, feeling miserable. His yams just refused to grow as they were supposed to. Adaobi served him his meal, but it wasn't as warm as he liked. He hit her and started shouting at her, raining all manner of curses. Adaobi hit the ground, clutching at her side as she cried in pain. This was one too many. The neighbors close by could hear Adaobi's cry from their huts. It had now become a familiar sound, but no one was bold enough to come save her, let alone challenge Nnamdi. This night, amid her tears, she looked up at him. Her eyes were filled with daring boldness as she spoke in a low, steady voice. Nnamdi, the earth watches and the spirits will answer. Nnamdi scoffed, waving her words away. But as he slept that night, a strange unease settled over him, like the weight of unseen eyes pressing down on his soul. The next morning, Nnamdi woke up very early, took his machete, and started walking to his farms. The mist was thick in the forest pathway, and some kind of stillness chilled the air. As he walked along, he found an old man sitting on a fallen log. His hair was white as ash. His skin was wrinkled like the bark of an ancient tree. He leaned on a staff carved with signs that almost appeared to change with the light. "Zan!" the old man called out, his voice gravelly but commanding. "Help an old soul carry this bundle to the edge of the forest." Nnamdi hesitated. The bundle looked small, but something about it made his stomach churn. Still, he could not refuse an elder. Holding the bundle, he was startled by its unnatural weight. With every step, it seemed to grow heavier. As they walked, the old man began to speak. There is a story of a man who thought himself above the laws of the earth. He struck those weaker than himself, believing his strength gave him the right. Nnamdi frowned and asked, "What happened to him?" The old man's voice dropped to a whisper and he said, "The earth remembered and the spirits answered." A cold ran up Nnamdi's spine, but he shrugged it off. "Tales are for children," he grumbled. The old man stopped abruptly. They were in a clearing where the trees stood unnaturally still, their leaves trembling without the wind. "This is where we part," the man said. "But beware, son. The earth is patient, but its justice is swift." Before Nnamdi was able to say anything, the old man vanished, leaving him with only the faint scent of burning leaves. When Nnamdi stepped into the clearing, the air grew thick, making it hard to breathe. The trees seemed to close in around him, their branches twisting like skeletal fingers. A deep rumble echoed through the forest, and the earth beneath him began to shake. "Nnamdi, son of Nsuka," a voice boomed low and resonant. It seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. A figure emerged from the shadows, cloaked in swirling mist and adorned with glowing symbols. It was Agbala, the spirit of justice, and its presence was both terrifying and formidable. "You have raised your hand against the weak," Agbala thundered. "You have mocked the balance of the earth. Today, You shall learn what it means to feel the weight of your sins. Before Nnamdi could run, the ground gave way under him and he plunged into darkness. He could not explain it, but he knew he was not himself anymore. He had become Adaobi. He felt the excruciating pain of the blows, the stifling fear in every of his eruption. He heard whispers of pity from unseen faces, and the isolation of living with shame and sorrow. The vision shifted to reveal the ripple of his actions. Adaobi praying in the moonlight, her face a stream of tears. His children silently watching, young hearts learning that violence is life. He saw himself in the future, an old, lonely, bitter man, shunned and cursed by those he once called family. When the vision was over, Nnamdi was kneeling and shaking, his body covered in perspiration. "Please," he pleaded in a trembling voice. "I did not know. I did not understand." Babala's voice was more pacifying now, but still held a tone of warning. "True strength is in kindness, not in cruelty. Go, Nnamdi. Mend your ways, or the earth will remember, and next time it will show no mercy." When Nnamdi got back to the village, his spirit was broken and his resolve was strong. He went straight to Adaobi, kneeling before her with the villagers looking on. "I have wronged you," he said, choking with emotion. "I have wronged the spirits and the earth. I swear I will spend the rest of my life making amends. Please find a place in your heart to forgive me. I promise to be a better husband to you and a better father to our children." Though wary, Adaobi saw something in him she had never seen before. It is remorse and humility. She nodded, although she knew that forgiveness would take time. This felt like answers to her prayers. Nnamdi was true to his words. He became a champion for change in the village, speaking out against violence and teaching young men that true manhood was found in protecting, not harming. His transformation became a legend, told around fires and passed down through generations. And though the scars of his past remained, Nnamdi lived the rest of his days in peace. His name no longer a curse but a symbol of redemption. When he and Adaobi grew old together, surrounded by children and grandchildren, he would tell them, "The earth watches and the spirits never forget." But even the cruelest heart can find its way back to the light.